Unity video games are built based on two fundamental things, essentially. The first thing are game objects. Every single thing, every single object, every single shape, every single item, every single thing that is in your Unity project or in your Unity game is a game object. Let me tell you what I mean by that. This main camera, which controls what it is that the player is seeing at any given time, is a game object. This directional light, which controls essentially the direction of the sun at any time while the game is running, this is a game object. If I right click and say create empty, this is a game object. It's an empty game object, which looks like nothing. If I right click and say 3D object cube, this is also a game object. It looks like a cube. Everything in Unity is a game object. Game objects are organized into things called scenes. Right now, I just have one scene, this sample scene, and it has 4 game objects within it. Right? My camera, my light, the empty game object that I created, which has nothing in it, and then my cube. I can create a brand new scene by right-clicking down here in my project window and clicking on Create Scene. I can find this exact same menu as well if I go up here to Assets, Create Scene. Creating a new scene, I'll call it Scene 2. Creating a new scene and double-clicking on it to open it gives me a brand new empty scene. So let's create a few more objects in here. I'll create a cube. I'll create a sphere, and I'll move this one off to the side slightly. And I'll create another sphere. I'll move this one off to the side down here. So now I have 2 scenes. I have my sample scene, which looks like this, with my 1 cube in it. And then I have scene 2, which looks like this. Scenes are used to collect game objects. So you can think of this as every level in a game would most likely be its own scene. When you're thinking about classic Mario games or any other, very level-based games where you're going from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, most likely those are scenes. The main menu in your game is probably a scene as well as any like loading screens or anything else that's kind of like a collection of different game objects. When you hit a loading screen, it's probably loading another scene, right? That's just full of game objects. So those are scenes, and these are game objects.